Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you what can possibly happen being a horse girl, or a horse person in general, that is.
No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, save me?
So I started out with going to do some exercises on the barrel. I had 6 barrels set up, I was ready to do them, and wouldn't you know it, just when I thought everything was going well, oh, something went wrong. So when I first jumped on Dash, I didn't really notice anything weird. He was walking normally. I mean, it was just any other day walking around at the barn. He walked like he normally did. I didn't notice anything when I brought him in, anything like that. Just normal old Dash. And then when I started to trot, I did notice a very slight, extremely slight head bop. And usually that is an indication of a little bit of soreness or lameness. But at the same time, I have seen him do the same thing with a little bit of a head bop and it be fine. And as you can see in that clip, you can barely notice anything. I mean, barely notice it. And I really was like worried, but it was especially noticeable when I was coming to the right. And I think part of that might have to do too with the fact that we were trotting for longer. Now, it wasn't such a huge noticeable thing on saddle, and even in the clips you can see, if you can notice it at all, it's just very light soreness, like just a very little bop, just except for the last clip it was a lot more noticeable, but then you go back down to a walk and you don't even notice it at all. So to me, I was like, okay, let's try this little circle. I'm gonna see if maybe going around a couple times might change. So I did a little bit of trotting, and I noticed that it was getting even worse, even on the side that wasn't as bad, and that's when I was a little bit more concerned. So I finally decided to jump off, and instead of using my camcorder to watch back, I used my phone. I propped it up on a barrel, and then I jumped on him and filmed myself trotting around in a circle. Okay. And this is the film I got. And as you can see, there's definitely some tenderness. He's definitely a little bit sore on that right front foot. And it's obvious on this side, going towards the left. Like you can see, it's even more obvious. You see that little bit of a head bop up and down. Not as obvious on the saddle, but when I turned him around and went the other way, it was much more obvious because, you know, he's leaning on that right side in that small circle, and you can even see it's much more obvious. So at that point, I texted my trainer, let her know what was going on, sent her the video, and I thought, he's okay to walk, so I'm just going to walk him around, walk him down, walk him through this little barrel pattern until I hear back from her. Because part of me was kind of thinking, okay, am I crazy? Because it's such a small, like, little notice. Like, I could barely notice it. Like, who knows what it could be? So I just didn't push him anymore, didn't want him to do any more trotting, and I just walked him around. He was having no problem walking, so I wasn't too concerned about that. And he had been trotting a while, so I wanted to get his heart rate back down, so I just went ahead and walked around the barrel pattern. This exercise is 6 barrels, and you take them all either right or left turn all the way around, and it's just working on perfecting that circle, perfecting that roundabout the barrel, whichever turn you're going. So that's just what I did with him while I waited to hear back from her. I just wanted to see what she said and what she thought, and also get his heart rate back down before I jumped off. Another thing that didn't have me too concerned was that just walking around with him, he was not at all limping. Like, there wasn't really a very noticeable, like, as you can see in this film, like, oh my gosh, his front right is definitely tender. I mean, him walking around was just, like, pretty much normal. Like, I mean, if I really looked for it and, like, looked and, like, really was like, okay, that front right is definitely sore, then I could see a little bit of a stiffness in it when he was walking, but it was, like, not noticeable at all. And once we were ready to be done for the day, and I was getting ready to stop him, I wasn't looking at my reins. I was looking at something on my watch. And he did this weird thing where he, like, popped his reins up. And I was like, oh my gosh. But as you can tell, I said, whoa. He stopped. He's very good about whoa, which I am very thankful for. Oh gosh. Sorry, I didn't mean to. After finally finishing up and hearing from my trainer, I took Dash into the round pen to get off and see him from the ground if he was really truly lame. So I just had him trot around both directions, and sure enough, that right front foot, he was favoring it. It wasn't like horribly lame, it was just like he was kind of tender and sore on that, and you couldn't tell unless he trot. It wasn't like he was walking and having problems. It was like as soon as he started trotting, that's when you could tell. Now, this could be from a number of different reasons. It could just be that he twisted his ankle out in the field, because when I checked it and felt it, it wasn't swollen, it wasn't hot. Another thing too that can happen, he went a really long time without having his feet done, a lot longer than he should have, and his feet were really outgrown. And a lot of times when your feet on the horses outgrow, so they're supposed to be more like this when they stand, and it kind of like is more like this. And so what happens is when you correct it, their leg goes back up to this, and it can cause soreness in their feet. So that could also be it, because it's only been about a week since they've been taken care of as far as their feet done, and I haven't ridden since that's been done, so that could also be a possibility. So my trainer and I both agreed that I should just give him a little bit of Bute, which is a pain medication, and just let him out and just let him enjoy the weekend, and then check back again with him on Monday. So as you can see, just because you have horses doesn't mean you can just run out and go ride them, because sometimes you run out and go ride them and then everything goes wrong. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of education. It was a little bit of a disappointment for me, but hopefully everything will be good by next week. See ya!